You've said tech only works if the people and process are ready for it. So tell me about a time when the tech didn't land until your people were on board.
I think tech will never land until people are on board. One of the best examples I have recently was we switched to CareStack, and so we have access to do ERA posting, electronic remittance advice. I'd never done that in my career. It was always manual posting. I had my team lead demo it, and she did it. She worked out the kinks for 3 months, and then we rolled it to my entire team. And this is how we pitched it. I said, she has a $20,000 EFT and she just posted it in 3 minutes. We need to learn this. And so then my team saw the value and we rolled it out, and they all love it now. And when we can't post with ERAs, it's like we're back in the Stone Ages.
How do you keep momentum when you're shaking things up on your revenue cycle management team?
My team, they're in the trenches. They know which carriers are doing what. So they bring the problems to the table, and then we can kind of, formulate ideas together. So it's like they have some skin in the game. It's their problem, their idea, our solution. So I think
Welcome back to The Doers, the podcast where we dive into the real stories of building, struggling, and thriving in dentistry. I'm your host, Dan Hall. In each episode, we explore the challenges, victories, and lessons learned from the leaders in the trenches shaping the future of dentistry. Today, I'm joined by Krysten Garduno, Senior Director of Revenue Cycle Management at Espire Dental. She's built her career transforming one of the most avoided aspects of dentistry in the business and turning it into a growth engine. Modernizing processes, blending technology with people, because it's a human-centric business, and scaling systems to work in real life, not just on paper. Krysten, welcome to the show. And I'm sure I butchered your last name there. My apologies.
No, you did great. Thanks for having me.
I did?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's Yo.
Wow.
You got it.
And did I get it right on the intro? That's your specialty, right? Is you're this dental nerd, and you're taking these concepts and augmenting the process these days.
Yeah, self-declared dental nerd in the RCM space that nobody wants to be in, for real.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about that because, right, you went, if I'm remembering this correctly, went from front desk to RCM leader. So before running RCM for a multi-state DSO, where did your journey in dentistry start?
Yeah. It's kind of funny, actually. I stepped down from a job that I was working at, and because I wanted to go to dental hygiene school, and it was a competitive application, so I needed to work in a dental office. So I started as a treatment coordinator, and then I said, you know what? I like the business side of dentistry. So treatment coordinator, practice manager, regional manager, ops, always operations. So nobody wants me to hold a section. I promise.
Well, so where did it click then? That's a lot of different roles to have. That this wasn't just paperwork, that it's really, when we unpack this as a business,
Hmm.
it's the heartbeat of it.
Yeah.
When we look at that revenue cycle management process, where did it click for you?
I think it actually clicked a little later for me than others. I had a virtual dental billing company during COVID, and all of our clients' stores shut down, right? And so, but I said, hey, don't let us go. Let us bring in AR for you to help bridge that gap of revenue that you're not getting right now. And we did that, and not one of our clients fired us. We didn't have to term, nobody closed their doors. And I got so many thank you notes from all these doctors being like, you really carried us through that time that we had to kind of close down and lower our production. So it was kind of that where it's like, no, it's not just claims and insurance verifications. It's actually like bringing in the money so that we can build the business and help more patients and do what we do.
What a great real world example, though. That was a tough time,
Mm.
and there usually is a lot of money sitting on the table for some of these practices.
Mhm.
Well, let's shift gears over. Because we're talking a little bit about the people portion of it. So when we look at tech plus people
Mhm.
to really build out this RCM process, people love to think technology, the space I come from, is like some type of magic fix. Like Dan's got a wand that he waves, and all of a sudden we implement it and everything's better. But you've said tech only works if the people and process are ready for it. I believe I heard you speaking at maybe the Espire event when I was there. So tell me about a time when the tech didn't land until your people were on board.
Yeah, I think tech will never land until people are on board. I think one of the best examples I have recently was we switched to CareStack, and so we have access to do ERA posting, electronic remittance advice, right? I'd never done that in my career. It was always manual posting. It's new to the dental industry as a whole in the last 5 to 7 years or so, and we didn't have an open API to allow us to do that. And so I had a I had my team lead demo it, and she did it. She worked out the kinks for 3 months, and then we rolled it to my entire team. And this is how we pitched it. I said she has a $20,000 EFT, and she just posted it in 3 minutes. We need to learn this. And so then my team saw the value, and we rolled it out, and they all love it now. And when we can't post with ERAs, it's like we're back in the Stone Ages.
So just so I have some context,
Sure,
so you get this
sure,
EFT. I don't
yeah,
remember the dollar amount.
sure,
You get all the posting done in 3 minutes.
yeah,
Stone Ages, like you just said. How
yes,
long would that have taken?
hours, 2.5 hours
Two and a half
probably.
hours.
Yeah, yeah,
So you trimmed 2 hours and 27 minutes off the process.
exactly.
Wow.
And when you can show those kinds of results is when you get people to get on board.
Yeah, that's super impressive. I mean, that allows them to work on other areas of the business. So, if you had some advice for a dentist or a leader in the space, or maybe somebody new to RCM, what would you make them track when it comes to an RCM metric on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, I could say the standard ones that everybody knows, the AR health, the buckets, right? But I like this one because it's not as well known. It's your outstanding insurance AR and patient AR compared to 1 month average production, which what that does for you is if you have a certain amount of dollars over 30 days, it could be healthy for a practice that produces $500,000 in a month. Or it could be very unhealthy if the practice only produces $100,000 a month because of the claim volume, right? So it's a tricky metric, but that would be the one I would go for.
Is there a name for it, or they just got to know that
Yeah.
formula?
Yeah, so no, I don't know, I think I coined it, honestly. I think it's mine. No, I don't know.
Okay.
Someone else uses it probably, but I do the outstanding insurance AR over 30 days, divide that over your net production, and make sure that percentage is 10% or less.
Well, anybody listening who wants that, they're going to
Yeah,
send a message on
yeah,
LinkedIn. You can send the
yeah,
formula, they can
yeah.
start tracking it.
I figure if they're tuning in for an RCM specialist, they might know those phrases, but other than that, yeah, you can reach out to me and I'll help you.
Okay, awesome.
Mhm.
So let's shift gears and talk about leading through change. Because I mean, we're talking about tracking a new metric, which might be new to some individuals. So it's a bit of change. And you just talked about the ERA, right? It's rarely smooth, right? Like you said, you got to win the people over with new workflows, KPIs, accountabilities that can rattle the team. How do you keep momentum when you're shaking things up on your revenue cycle management team?
I think I allow ideas and collaboration, right? My team, they're in the trenches. They know which carriers are doing what, and so they bring the problems to the table, and then we can kind of formulate ideas together. So it's like they have some skin in the game. It's their problem, their idea, our solution. So I think that would probably be the biggest thing is allow them to bring their ideas and problems to the table and get it solved.
That's awesome as a leader, just getting that collaboration going. So, how do you make your team feel valued just, beyond hitting your numbers? Like,
Yeah,
I mean, because I'm sure you got some metrics they have to hit.
yeah, yeah, KPIs and bonus programs for sure, but we do quarterly outings. We've done a lot of things together. Actually, it's kind of a well-known joke that the RCM team hangs out a little bit too much at Aspire outside of work. So yeah, no, we're actually all of us are going to a boot camp, an RCM boot camp up in Vail in a couple weeks. So we're all attending that CEE and Aspires, sees the value in that, which is great. But yeah, no, we just do a lot of we do outings. We joke around. My one-on-ones, we're talking personal for at least the first 10 minutes. Like, how's your family? What's going on? And just care about them as people and move on. Yeah,
Well, that's great. I mean, I'm guessing it's got to be this stressful position. I mean, I lead a
yeah,
sales team, and there's a lot of people that depend on you. I like to say, you're feeding the family,
hmm
right? You got this role within the organization that brings in the money to
hmm
feed everybody else. So,
yeah,
I mean, good for you as a leader to notice that and take care of your team.
yeah.
So, let's fast forward and take a look at the future
Mm,
of RCM in dentistry. 5 years from now,
hmm
pull that crystal ball out. What does RCM look like?
I mean, I think RCM is probably one of the biggest changes that dentistry has seen in the past 5 years. I think it's going to continue to be one of the biggest changes, and it's just because of AI and augmented intelligence, as we've used. It's teamwork with AI and RPA technology. And the medical world has they're always around 20 years ahead of dentistry when it comes to claim processing and the electronic information we get back from carriers, et cetera. So, I mean, it's going to look like our teams we're gonna elevate our RCM teams to kind of consultants, and they can manage many different kind of practices, and they have AI below them so that they can manage more practices, but they have to, be able to talk to their practices and say, "These are our goals, these are our metrics," because they have a little bit more time on their hands, hopefully. They're not on hold with Blue Cross Blue Shield for an hour because maybe we can get that AI phone call out there doing that instead. So, it's kind of maybe even leaner teams, expert teams, and accompanied with AI. Yeah.
I love the number one, I love the phrase augmented intelligence.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm a nerd myself.
Mhm. Yeah.
So really you're seeing this like just you're augmenting the whole process and that's their assistant. Now they can work directly with the staff to see, okay, where can we make improvements to
Mhm.
move the needle
Mhm.
even more on our revenue cycle management piece of it, or maybe getting more treatment into the bucket.
Mhm.
Okay, very cool. So you've called yourself a dental nerd, right?
Mhm.
We've already uncovered that. So give me your take. Where's dentistry heading when it comes to RCM? I think we covered like that future state, but like
Mhm.
when we look at where we're sitting today, where are we heading as we take that path down to that road to the future state of what you just described there? What do you see the interim? Is it more of the same, or are we going to start riding a hybrid, so to say?
The hybrid in what sense?
Well, like where we start to dabble with a little bit of AI. I mean, I
Oh,
don't know if you've piloted anything. Is there anything that's
sure.
quite ready to get us to
Sure.
that
Yeah. Yeah, no,
future state you were just talking about?
it's always gonna be a hybrid in RCM because
Okay.
we absolutely have to have the expert in that space to be able to kind of manipulate the data you get back from AI because there are so many different scenarios that can happen. And it has to be a hybrid model with an expert team member and AI. So it'll always be accompanied for sure.
Okay.
I think what could be interesting is that we get more of our carriers on board to standardize data in return. They do it for medical. Some dental carriers are turning the corner where it's like, okay, we need to try to standardize like the same rejection codes, the same EOB formats, the same published information to our patients. I think they are seeing a value in that, and I hope that continues.
Okay. What do you see as far as do you mind if we shift over and talk about the patient? I feel like we've been talking pretty heavily on
Yeah.
the insurance side. What do you see as far as like current state and future state when we talk about revenue cycle management when it pertains to what is owed by the patient and improving that side of the house?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal right now. People are holding finances to their chest, right? Like we need like really close to the vest, and we need to be able to give them accurate estimates on their insurance and be able to know the clauses and the things that are going to get denied claims and all that kind of stuff. So I think, the experience for the patient, I know it. We bring the money, right? It doesn't seem like we're patient forward, but we are. All the work we do, the appeals we do to get those patients' claims paid behind the scenes that they have no idea about that their insurances are denying. We have to bring our teams, get them centralized, get them efficient so that we can get the most claims paid from carriers so that patients don't have to pay those out of pocket costs. So,
So is it maybe if I want to make sure I'm interpreting this right as I stumble on my words here,
yeah.
because I've read about this as far as like that being one of the reasons a lot of people don't accept treatment as the price transparency.
Hmm.
So if your team is going in there ahead of time, checking to see what all the exclusions, limitations, am I
Hmm.
catching that right?
Yes.
It's going to make it a little bit easier for the patient to understand. Okay, great. Out of this thousand, I owe 400, and they
Yeah.
know that up front.
Right.
They know they have to pay their 400, and it's estimated insurance is going to cover the six.
Right.
So just make it a little bit easier process. Like you said, people are being a little bit more cautious with their money with inflation.
Hmm.
If they know ahead of time, they can plan for it, budget for it, and easily pay it at the time of service.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's probably the number one reason why people don't get treatment done is finances. It has to be top two. So yeah, no, that's definitely really important. And at Aspire, we're, working on automating insurance verifications, very timely process. But what it does is it makes sure that we have the patient's benefits correct, their maximum remaining, all the fine clauses that could cause a denied claim. We're sending out the clean claim on a timely manner. All these intricate things. We're accompanying it with AI and humans.
Okay, so this falls in the same path. That future state is going to be driven by a little bit more automation coming out of AI to improve that process, very similar to the insurance side, but benefiting the patient through that price transparency to also turn and spin and maybe get some more treatment accepted.
Yeah, yeah. If I was gonna try to branch off and do not insurance in my world, I would say we have really cool ways to pay your bill now with technology. It's still going to technology, though. I don't really know if I have anything else.
Okay, no, that's great. Well, it's been really engaging. I mean, it's a great topic. I know it's at the center of most practices and especially DSOs as they roll up to centralize. Some good pearls of wisdom. You mind if we shift gears and go over to the rapid fire on the personal side just to find more out about you as an individual?
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
let's do
you
it.
ready?
Yeah.
Favorite leadership book or podcast?
Oh, I like the New Heights podcast from Kelsey Brothers.
Okay, yeah,
Travis and Jason
no,
Kelsey.
it's a great podcast. I
I
listen to it
wouldn't say it's
myself.
leadership, but it is my favorite podcast.
Okay, first job you ever had?
T-ball coach.
T-ball coach?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, mainly I just made sure the kids didn't run to third place instead of first base, but yeah.
Okay, all right. Or a daughter like mine during T-ball who's doing like cartwheels out there and
The butterfly catchers, those were my favorites.
yes, she
Yeah.
did chase a few butterflies. We found
Yeah.
out that was not her sport. Um,
Yeah.
how do you start your day?
Coffee on the porch with my daughter at 6:30 in the morning every day, and we watch the hot air balloons go up.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Every day you have hot air balloons go by your house.
No, but
Okay,
a
I was
lot
gonna
right
say.
now. No, so they always go up, we have big mountains out in Colorado, and they
Sure.
always go up around Long's Peak, and we can see it from our backyard, so it's always a popular spot, and the past couple of weeks, we've seen one every morning. Yeah.
That seems like the opening for a movie, right? I'm sitting on the porch in a rocker with my daughter
Yeah,
enjoying
yeah,
coffee as
yeah.
the daily hot air balloons fly by the ranch we're on. Okay.
Yeah, they might be cuter in the movie, though. We're out there in, like, robes, and our hair's looking a mess. Yeah.
Best advice you ever received?
Um, Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end.
That is very good advice. I like that one. I'm going to steal it. So thank you for joining me. This has been really insightful. Like I said, anybody who's out there listening in the RCM world got some great pearls of wisdom. Big thank you for attending. It's been a blast. For everyone listening, stay tuned. If you want to swap war stories with Krysten, reach out to her on LinkedIn. I'm sure she's more than happy to share some of those stories on being in the trenches and figuring this out as things change in the RCM space. And you prove that it's not about, chasing claims. It's about people, trust, and making sure the business has the fuel to grow. Until next time, keep doing the work.